The turmeric latte has become one of the defining beverages of contemporary wellness culture, warm, golden, faintly exotic, and loaded with the promise of curcumin-powered anti-inflammatory protection. The turmeric supplement and food market is projected to reach nearly $200 million by 2030, and curcumin has been the subject of a remarkable volume of research, more than 15,000 published papers. But the scientists conducting that research would likely be surprised by the certainty with which wellness influencers announce curcumin's effects, because what the literature actually shows is more complicated, more conditional, and more honestly uncertain than a $7 golden milk from a cafe menu would suggest. Curcumin is the primary bioactive polyphenol in turmeric, and its anti-inflammatory mechanisms are genuinely interesting at the molecular level. It inhibits NF-kappa B, a master regulatory protein in inflammatory signaling, and modulates multiple cytokine pathways that drive chronic inflammation. In cell culture and animal models, these effects are consistent and well replicated. The translation to human clinical outcomes is where the picture becomes considerably more cautious. The bioavailability problem is the central issue, and it is not a minor caveat to mention in passing. Curcumin is poorly absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract, rapidly metabolized, and quickly eliminated. Studies consistently show that oral curcumin consumption produces very low plasma concentrations, levels that may not be sufficient to replicate the anti-inflammatory effects observed at higher concentrations in laboratory conditions. This is why clinical trials that report positive results almost universally use concentrated curcumin extracts standardized to 95% curcuminoids. Products that deliver 500 to 2,000 milligrams of actual curcumin, combined with bioavailability enhancers like piperine from black pepper, which increases absorption by up to 2,000%. A teaspoon of culinary turmeric contains approximately 200 milligrams of curcumin, and without piperine or fat, a fraction of even that modest amount is absorbed. The golden milk you are drinking at the cafe almost certainly contains amounts of curcumin that are clinically irrelevant. The added sugar in commercial turmeric latte products actively works against any anti-inflammatory goals the customer believes they are pursuing. Pharmacologists reviewing this situation tend to conclude that if curcumin's therapeutic potential is going to be realized in humans, it will be through specifically formulated supplements rather than culinary turmeric use. Clinical trials on specific curcumin formulations for arthritis have shown some positive findings in joint pain reduction that are meaningful, if not dramatic. Depression and cognitive function research is more preliminary. The honest summary is that curcumin is a biologically active compound with plausible and interesting mechanisms, a growing but still inconsistent human evidence base, and a fundamental delivery problem that culinary consumption cannot solve. The cultural framing of turmeric as an ancient Indian wisdom tradition that Western science is finally catching up to contains truth, but also romanticizes a nutritional gap between what Ayurvedic practice involves and what the average Western consumer is actually ingesting.